but your host, CFNL Predator, and my boy, my co-host, Ryan Guy 1208. We're back! We're back in the broadcast booth. And by God it, we're here for the Darlington Raceway, the Bojangle Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway as we're about to get practice underway. It's been a while. We haven't had a stream for the Cup Series. We've missed a lot of good racing. But we're back. It's throwback week, Ryan Guy.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing, it's Crown Jewel race too, so it's a big race.
It's a big race. We got this race in Indianapolis. Two races left. Or three, excuse me. It might be three. I'm not 100% sure. My last night after winning, my head hasn't been straight ever since. But we have 2 or 3 races left to tell the playoffs, Ryan. Like this is one of the biggest races. Now, technically, if you look at it, there's some guys that are pretty much locked in on points. Pretty much everybody's locked in on points. But it's still exciting. We're the crunch time is here, and it's really exciting. It's an exciting time to be a NASCAR fan.
Yes indeed. The reason is because we have 2 races left. This is Darlington, then Indy. Then we head to the playoffs in Vegas for the Cup Series, which will be the first race in Heat 4 as well. So the racing will be completely different as Vegas comes around.
Absolutely. We got the news a couple months ago that we would be switching to a new package, a new car style. We got the Ford Mustangs coming in. A lot of changes happening at the start of the playoffs, and everyone is excited. Everyone's ready to go. The first playoff race, we start this new era, start this new package. We got the Ford Mustangs coming in. Very excited. And like I said, we're just moments away from practice starting. What can we expect in practice, Ryan Guy?
Probably getting used to the track, as this track is known as too tough to tame. This track, or also the Lady in Black. This track is a tough one. If people know how to run this track properly, they're probably just going to work on their setup and go. But with people that aren't used to this track, I have a tough time figuring it out as the race happens.
Absolutely. Last night we had yours truly, CFNL Predator, win at Darlington. It was a very difficult. It's a very difficult track to go to. There's no room to pass. It's like Bristol. It's a one-lane track. A lot of people are going to be overdriving turn 3 and 4. A lot of people are going to be trying to go wide open in 1 and 2. What are we going to expect? A lot of guys getting into the wall. We call those the Darlington stripes. Who here is going to get the less amount of stripes, and who here is going to show up and win at Darlington? This, like you said, the slogan is Darlington Raceway, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black. I'm so excited to be back in the broadcast booth. I'm so excited to be broadcasting this race. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of action we've been missing, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this race to get underway.
You know what? Speaking of which, as you're excited for being back in the booth, so am I. My question is, who's your pick to win tonight? An early favorite of yours to win tonight?
Well, you can't go wrong with Great on Wheels. Great on Wheels. He's shown up. He has, I think, 6 wins, and he has really dominated the Cup Series and took the Cup Series by the throat. And he's won pretty much every single pole. He has like over 20 stage wins. So, no doubt, if you're going to Vegas, you're going to bet on Great on Wheels. However, the dark horse, the guy that has been showing up and the guy that has really caught everybody's attention is Austin underscore Johnston. He's been showing up. He's been wanting to get that win. It's been 2 years, and he's been wanting it and craving for it. He's been clawing for it, but second place after second place. And then you got to look at Mike Mann, who replaced Big Will in the 24 car. He comes back. He wins at Michigan. He has been doing a fantastic job replacing Big Will and getting getting his first win in the Cup Series at Michigan. And then you got to look at the other side of the HMS organization. You got Bradley 88 Jr. who won at Daytona, the Daytona 500, getting his first win. He's no longer the what if kid, but you know, he hasn't performed the way he wants to perform. Not a lot of top 5 finishes. He did a fantastic job at Michigan a few weeks ago, but you know, there's so many guys like Smoke, great on wheels, but I you know, my dark horse is Austin Johnston, and for right now, I'm putting all my money, I'm going all in on great on wheels.
As you say that Austin Johnson, he is your dark horse. He's actually my pick to win it tonight. Rumor has it that this is one of his favorite tracks, if not his favorite. He loves this track. He's ready for it. He could come out and just surprise everyone. He's been there close. Auto Club, for example, he was really, really close. Could have won that race. Just being by 0.1 seconds behind Great on Wheels. He's gotten so many second place finishes. When will he break it? I think he breaks it tonight.
It's a big possibility. An egg-shaped track. A lot of guys are going to be beating and banging off each other. Like I said, a one lane groove. A lot of guys are going to get in the wall. A lot of guys are going to be, you know, given the bumper. It's going to look like a short track, ladies and gentlemen. The way that they're going to be driving is going to be very awesome. We had Austin Johnston and we had Bradley show up to the National Series last night, and they thought they could come in and kind of outrun the National Series guys, but you had Incog, you had Weasel, and you had myself. We all three went out there and we were door to door, bumper to bumper, all race. It was a very phenomenal race. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. We streamed it last night. What a finish, and I can't expect anything less than tonight going into Darlington Raceway for the Bojangle Southern 500. And then, like I said,
you can join as well.
Like I said, we have just 2-3 weeks left until the playoffs. The throwback weekend, we're going to see a lot of throwback cars from Davey Allison, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, a lot of the Wood brothers. There's a lot of unique uniforms, unique car paint schemes, and what better way for us to be broadcasting a race for the Cup Series than Darlington Raceway for throwback weekend.
As you see, obviously you have Mike in the old throwback of Jeff Gordon when he ran the Rainbow Warrior paint scheme. You have, if I'm not mistaken, Kay Green is in the throwback to Richard Petty, as it seems like. Of course, you have Bradley in the 48 with the throwback to Jim with the Lowe's. Though it's not the throwback that he had, it was the last race of Homestead, if I'm not mistaken. But still a throwback, nonetheless.
We got a huge wreck in the beginning of practice, as it looks like the 12, the 41, and I believe that's the 37. Yes, the 37 of Sub Vader. All three, and the 47 of KD, all getting in a huge wreck in the backfield coming off turn 2. A lot of people are going to have very tough time. As you see, the 21 gets very loose, hits the apron. A lot of people are going to hit the apron. There is a small patch that Darlington ended up replacing and fixing over the past couple years, where the cars just they're so low to the ground that it does not like it. The car does not like it. It runs over that patch. You get really, really loose. Your car just whips out. So getting onto the apron is a big no-no, along with that patch, and then just getting really tight in 3 and 4, how narrow these corners are. As you see Bradley, who is leading this pack, gets into the wall. A lot of guys are going to get into the wall tonight.
Yep, as you said, the Darlington Straights, who gets less? I think the person that gets less will actually be in the better position. You also got to think, too, track position is the biggest
Bradley
thing.
Goes around, collects the 24, collects the 20, and collects the 72. Going into turn 1. What a big wreck coming out of turn 2. Might as well get it out now for practice.
Yep. Because if you look at it, even if you really touch the white line, technically, you still spin. So maybe the white line's also a no-no if you think about it.
Absolutely. As it's just a lot of guys having issues hitting their marks in the corners. As the 24 all the way in the wall.
We said it. Race is too tough. This track is really hard to tame.
Absolutely.
Living up to its name.
Don Pizzito coming in from the Truck Series, your regular season champion in the Truck Series, your current points leader in the playoffs, and coming in driving the 72 machine.
He's
right
also
behind.
the favorite, if I'm not mistaken, in the Truck Series championship run too.
Absolutely. We got the 41 of Harris Plex. There's the 21 of Great on Wheels, and he gets really loose. What a save! Coming out of turn 2, saves it, going all the way into the inside wall. Doesn't even hit it. Doesn't even touch it.
Is this a track that maybe Great on Wheels has a tough time working with? That's the true question that you gotta ask yourself now.
Or maybe he's just showboating. Showing off to the crowd with his skills of how he could drive this car, and he gets loose again coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, it seems like this track does not like what he's running right now. He hits those little bumps and it just knocks his car a little loose.
This track built in 1950, one of, if not the oldest tracks in the NASCAR circuit.
And it almost shut down too.
We're not going to talk about that, as we're on board with S'mores, who's been broadcasting for us, holding the broadcast booth on his back the past few weeks. Won the All-Star race and got his ticket to the playoffs after winning Kentucky, after Great on Wheels and Big Will got in a huge fight towards the end.
Because it seems like after a bump, if the second place tries to pull off a bump and run, you really get to see that the third place car actually is the one that gets a bigger portion out of it, because they get the advantage.
Absolutely.
So it's always something to think about.
So much action as we're gonna go on board with the 21. See what lane he's running, how the car is handling. Getting into the wall off of turn 2. Really slow in turn 3 and 4, and Smoke is just gonna let him by. Again, overdriving it. Getting into the wall, and then he spins around. Fortunate enough, he doesn't collect anybody. But how about this pack? The 72, 43, 37, 41, and 20, all in less than a second of each other.
'37 really drove it in hard into 3.
Absolutely. We're going to be on board with the 43, as he's going to try to pass the 72. Maybe he thinks the 72 is holding this line up.
Give him a little bump.
What do you think is going to happen when somebody's going to try to go side by side? Obviously, it is very difficult to pass, but what are guys going to have to do to pass here at Darlington?
Definitely try to get a run before going into the turn, and Definitely be careful running side by side in the turns. These turns are very, very narrow. You would have to make a pass on the front straightaway. That's why I'm saying more. You would want more track position than having um, being side by side in these turns, knowing it's so narrow.
Oh man, the 37 punts the 43
Hard.
into turn 1, and then the 43 returns the favor going into turn 3 and causes a huge pile up.
Race how you want to be raced.
Absolutely. Very wide is the 21. 4 wide. These guys are. This is just practice.
Hey, get it out now. Because you got to be careful for this race.
Absolutely. The 21 and 12 bumper to bumper. Smoke gets into the wall. Wow, what a save.
Like you said, this is going to be a track that these turns are going to be brutal. Even if you touch, like even glimpse the wall, you're going to get shot down off the turn or into somebody and cause a caution. Or maybe cause a wreck and then everyone's pit strategy goes out the window. Was it on purpose? No, but it just kind of throws the whole game off.
Absolutely. Like you have been saying, this is a really tough track to get around. I hate repeating myself in broadcast, but it is very, very difficult for us to get to a point where it's only one lane. What are we gonna have to do? What are these drivers gonna have to do? As the 21 gets loose off of turn 2 and he saves it on the backstretch going into turn 3. It's
getting loose at.
It's very, very difficult to get around this track.
Yeah, it is. You can run too wide at this track, but the other person that you're running too wide with on the turn, you have to be very respectful and you gotta hold where you're at, because if you don't, you're really gonna be in trouble.
On board with the 24 of Mike Man, the Barracuda, as some people say. See where he lifts.
Enters in really high. Wheels, on the other hand, he enters really low.
The Wheels is like he gets his left sides underneath the dotted white line enough where he can still have control of the car and have the amount of speed, and now the 24 is just sucked into the wall, and there goes Great on Wheels, and he's still into the wall. Oh, he collects the 47. Heavy damage from the 24. That car is not milky smooth at all.
As we do have qualifying in 7 minutes.
A lot of action has happened. Nothing really that catches my eye about anybody that has speed other than the 12 and the 21.
Wait till the 9 gets on the track for the race, because he did miss practice. Then we'll see what happens. Because like I said,
failed inspection. We're talking about Austin Johnston. He failed inspection. Nascar held his car in the back until they get it right. A lot of guys down pit road trying to repair their cars. Don Zito, like I said, doing a part-time, driving that 72 car. Let's try to get the Daytona 500 winner, Bradley, A8 Jr., driving the 48 car. Let's try to get him in here. as he is done with practice. We're gonna stay on his car a bit until Bradley gets in here. And there is the Daytona 500 winner, Bradley 88 Jr. Man, there has been a lot of action, a lot of drama so far in practice. A lot of guys wrecking, a lot of guys losing control of their cars. What you raced in the National Series last night, so what is the difference in handling from last night to tonight?
Tonight the cars are just way more free. Last night the cars were tight and free off the corners, but the Cup cars tonight, at least for me, are loose all the way through the corners.
All right, and you know, we've been talking about how Great on Wheels has been dominating the season so far with 6 or 7 wins. What can we expect tonight from the 48 team? You won at Daytona 500. You've come so close to getting another win. What can we expect from the 48 Lowe's car tonight?
Hopefully a top 5. I'm not looking for a win because this track hates me.
You said that last night, and man, you put on a good performance. But I really think you know, going into the playoffs, you know, we need something. We need some action. You know, you need some momentum. What can we expect heading in the next few weeks before the playoffs?
Well, I mean, my last 2 races were top 3 finishes, so I can say that's some momentum. I finished 2nd at Michigan and 3rd at Bristol.
Absolutely.
Even won a stage at Michigan.
There you go. Ryan, guy, do you have any questions for Daytona 500?
Yep, I do have one for the Daytona 500 champion. Knowing that you've already won the Daytona 500, do you think if like you said, you're not a fan of this track and this track hates you and you're just looking for a top 5, but if you do somehow put yourself in a position to win, how would it feel to win a second crown jewel race?
I'd feel amazing. I mean, I just pitch strategy is going to be the only way I'll win tonight.
Very choice words from Bradley 88 Jr. Thank you for taking your time with us during practice, and hopefully we will be interviewing you after the race.
10-4.
That is our Daytona 500 winner, Bradley 88 Jr., who is looking for more momentum heading into the playoffs. Let's try to get another driver. Let's try to get the 12 of Smoke in here.
Each wins for Wheels. He's probably, like you said, probably around 20, give or take. I would say 21, give or take. Let me look here. Give me the closest that I can get to him. He's got 22 stage winners. Good lord.
And here is Smoke, who is currently on the wall. Not the way you want to be. But we just had the Daytona 500 winner, Bradley 88 Jr., saying he, you know, because he raced last night in the National Series. He's saying the cars are very, very free. A lot of guys are very loose off the corners, especially turn 2. We've seen a lot of wrecks and a lot of people into the wall. What can we expect in your eyes heading in tonight for handling? Absolutely, and this is one of the tracks where it's very difficult to pass, just like Bristol. How are you going to go into this race when it's crunch time, trying to get stage points, trying to get a win? How are you going to try to get around somebody? Absolutely, and we got a couple more weeks, a couple more races until the playoffs. So obviously a win would be a huge momentum boost for anybody, including you, heading into the playoffs. But what can we expect the next few races from certain drivers who haven't won, or that are looking for a good finish or some momentum boost heading into the playoffs? Absolutely. As we're gonna let you go. We just wanted a quick brief as qualifying is about to start. So go out there and get them.
Well,
As qualifying is about to start.
that was our wins leader as well. Smoke has
Yes.
6, Wheels has 5. So
Smoke
those two have
has
been
been
dominating.
dominating this season, along with the 21. The Fords have been really good this past year, with Pimcraft winning a couple races, and with the 22. You had the 20, 21, and 12 obviously have been dominating, but how about them Chevys too? You have Kyle Green, who won Daytona. You've had Bradley also winning Daytona. You had Michigan with Mike Mann. So a lot of guys who are running Chevys want to get another win for their bow tie company. You also have the only Toyota driver, S'mores, who has, like I said, he won the All-Star race and he won Kentucky. So a lot of tension, not only as the playoffs are getting here, but for these companies who are trying to get their first championship. We had the Chevy win last year for the 95 team of sports, but the Toyotas and Fords, they're looking for a championship or for their first title.
Well, I mean, even though it's mostly Chevy teams and Fords, you gotta give the Fords and Toyotas credit, especially to S'mores, as he's the only Toyota. And the Fords, they've actually come out to have, I believe, almost maybe about the exact same to the Chevy teams, because you have Smoke and Ford leading, or not Ford, Smoke and Great to leading the charge with the Fords with their 11 wins combined. You have Wheels with 22 stage wins, which is ridiculous. So he's obviously got the most playoff points. He's going to run away with the regular season championship. That championship's already locked up, as well as the National Series, just seemed like, after you winning last night.
Absolutely, and I'm ready for this race to get underway. I get it. Practice and qualifying is a big thing for fans and for the drivers, but for me, I want to hop into the race. I want to see this action, as we're just seconds away from qualifying starting. I believe we can join.
Yeah, had lagged out.
Unfortunate offense, as we're trying to get qualifying set up. What was your number one takeaway, Ryan, seeing practice? A lot of guys spinning out, getting into the wall, and crashing. What was the biggest takeaway in practice?
Great on Wheels. His entry. He enters really dangerously close to the apron, and it's impressive how he even makes the turn. But you see like Bradley enter in more high, kind of bring the car down a little bit and raise it off the corner, and then go. Wheels is different. He goes in low, goes high, kind of stays high, dips it low a little bit, and then takes off.
Absolutely. As we're just moments away from practice, or qualifying. As there is the invite, we're just gonna wait a few more minutes.
But this race is gonna be very entertaining. Darlington races are always entertaining. You just hope to pray that if someone can run too wide, it'd be very cool to watch.
Absolutely.
You'll rarely see that racing.
Absolutely, as we're just, it's very, very difficult to have guys take risks and try to pull them off being side by side. So it would be very interesting to see if we can have side-by-side action, just like Daytona and Talladega. Nobody wants to do it except a few guys being side-by-side, going 200 plus miles an hour. So let's see if they can
Yeah.
do it at Darlington.
I like it'd just be very interesting. I'm really like, though I hate Darlington personally on this game and everything, it's fun to watch the racing happen because this track is so difficult. It's so fun to see how these drivers will figure it out. As you heard, Bradley and Smoke are having about the same issues with handling. They're loose pretty much all around the track, as one Bradley last night said, it was like free and tight about the same time last night. The Cup cars are completely different this time around.
Absolutely, and we're gonna hop into qualifying here. For the Darlington Raceway for the Bojangle Southern 500. What's so neat about the Darlington Raceway is when you win, you get a custom plate put on the trophy of your face, and it's so unique. One of the few tracks, you have the Daytona Trophy. They put the name of the driver. You have the custom concrete of the hands and their signature. But one thing is really cool with the custom trophy, or with the trophy for the Darlington Raceway, is that custom plate of the person's face put it on the trophy.
Right. That's it's a very interesting way of the trophy, but because it's such a special track, as I said before, the history of this track almost wasn't here because of the racing, but because of an 03 or 04 finish between Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven kept this track alive, and this is why we still have the Southern 500.
Absolutely. I'm scratching my head because the rule is that you cannot go down pit road, and we got the 9 and the 41 going down pit road. Not quite sure what happened here and why they're down pit road.
It looks like they have damage. Did they hit the apron by accident?
I'm not 100% sure.
I think the only reason why they would go down is just maybe to fix a little bit of damage, not to get tires on. If you get tires on, that's kind of cheap, because some people are flying and burn up to 99% of their tire. So
Absolutely.
I think they just want to fix their damage so they're maybe can put in a decent time.
Yeah, but the rule states that we're not now once are we supposed to go down pit road to fix any damage or anything. So
That
it's
is true,
very
but
very
very
interesting.
odd.
As we got the 43 of Kyle Green.
72 is also out too, of Don Manzito.
We're going to be watching the 43, your Coke 400 winner.
That's a very popular win. He was put in by the fans he was voted in to the All-Star race at Charlotte, so it was I think very popular win for the 43 with the 43 and his fan base, if you look at it.
As he gets really tight going into turn 1.
Really held his line though.
Absolutely didn't hit the wall, but maybe lost a few seconds as he was just trying to fight that car.
Yeah, he's tight or loose. You can't really tell. He's just going up. I think he's just being careful and not trying to hit the wall. I think that's his problem. As this is one of the only tracks where, for at least about an intermediate track, that you're actually touching the brake. Like if you look at Texas or Atlanta, you're almost full throttling most of the track. Well, Atlanta, you're actually full throttling.
Absolutely, it's with the corners how they are. You want speed, but you don't want to be chasing your car all the way up to the wall. As the 43 is now done with his qualifying time, along with the 41 and the 72.
Yep.
I believe the 37. Nope, it's the 48. Who's going next?
The 12 and the 24 are just messing around.
Kids will be kids,
Barracuda.
that's for sure.
Barracuda.
It's
David Hughes.
37. Sub Vader making his way onto the field with the Louisiana hot sauce. Oh, he got really, really loose coming off the apron towards the track.
As both JTG cars are out, and so is the 20. And his sports clip. Now, I feel stupid not knowing this, but what is the throwback for the 20 car exactly? I can't remember.
I cannot remember either.
Dang, I wish I knew. Cause it's like it looks like an old baseball like throwback if you look at it. Of course, you got the Rainbow Warrior paint scheme that Gordon had. Oh, as in Discord, Mike just said the Barracuda. That's gonna be his new nickname. Probably should say that during the race when he makes passes.
Excuse me, it's a tribute to S'mores' spotter, Rick Carley.
Ah,
Inspired by him.
interesting.
So the 24 is also on track, but he was all up against the wall. That's not going to be a great lap for him.
No, it will not. It definitely not be a great lap for the Barracuda himself. But he does have one of the best looking paint schemes out here. That's honesty.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna ask you this: which is your favorite paint scheme sitting out here tonight?
The 24 is a really good one, and the 48. I like the 48.
My favorite's probably the 20 or the 24 because their paint schemes just have the color to them.
Absolutely. I
Maybe
love
the 9
the car
because it's like very bright.
Love the cars underneath the lights. They shine really well.
Yep.
And we're just
Especially the 48
waiting on
car.
the 9 car now of Austin Johnston driving the Napa Auto Parts car.
Dark horse.
Our dark horse. Hopefully he can get that win that he's been craving for 2 years, too long.
2 full long years, and he's been hungry to get it. Now, this is his track to get it. Like I said, rumor has it that this is his best track, and it's his favorite as well.
Absolutely. You sat down with Austin Johnston, and he told you straight up that this is one of his favorite tracks. As he gets loose and head on into the inside wall, and you hate to see it. Not what he wanted.
Hard into the wall, which will sadly end his qualifying, but
he's gonna have to go to a backup car.
He will.
Hard into the inside wall. Looked like he got off the racing surface and just went head on into the inside wall.
I don't get why this apron's so deadly.
And he's so tight. He's against the wall. That aero damage is not... I mean, I'm surprised he's not leaking fluid.
Same. Because he'll have to start at the back anyhow with the new car. His car's done. Like, the car's toast. Like, he didn't want to have that happen. It just happened.
As he's going to limp across the start-finish line. Goes back into the wall. Pretty much everybody has a clean car except the 41, the 9, and the 37.
Bo is doing burnouts.
Smoke is maybe practicing his burnouts.
He's already done 6 burnouts this year. Maybe he's looking for his 7th.
As everybody is now done with qualifying. So that's going to do it for us for right now. We're going to end this stream and head into the race. The next time you'll see us, it's go time. Bojangle Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway. Thank you for joining us for practice and qualifying. We will see you in just about 5 minutes for the race.